This podcast was brought to you by Speak Spokane, a community-driven podcasting studio space where people from all walks of life can speak and be heard. Follow along with us on Instagram at Speak Spokane and visit speakpodcasting.com to learn more about starting your podcasting journey today.
From Oldest to Youngest is brought to you in partnership with Spin City. Spin City is an indoor cycling studio that strives on making sure everyone feels welcome and comfortable. At Spin City, exercise is more than physical. It's a mental workout. When you come to Spin City, you become family. Spin City is family owned and believes supporting our community is the most important way to help grow our city. Email them now at info@spincityspokane.com or call anytime at 509-919-4824.
I was once a kid who dreamed of being bigger quicker. Then I became bigger, started smoking, drinking liquor. When I evaluate my day to day is bills to pay, a kid to feed, and wondering how that dollar finna come today.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Less sleepy than last time. It's not 10 a.m., which I shouldn't still be sleepy at 10 a.m. anyway, but that's just how my brain works.
At all times.
You're a teenager. You're allowed.
I went to sleep at a reasonable time yesterday.
What time was
still
reasonable?
11:30.
Okay, that's reasonable.
That's reasonable.
I thought you were going to be like Hakeem and be like 3 a.m.
No, Hakeem doesn't go to sleep till 9.
Yeah, that's why he's so tired at 3 p.m.
That's why he always misses dinner.
Wow.
This is now a venting podcast. I'm just going to vent about all my problems with Hakeem.
I am not your therapist.
He never lets me borrow his pick. He sleeps through dinner. He's hard to wake up.
He is. All of us are hard to wake up. Mom had to wake you up like 4 times today.
Yeah. Well, that's just because I didn't want to go.
Well, maybe that's Hakeem's problem. He doesn't want to talk to you.
Oh,
budgie. It's okay. So, what are we doing?
Well, I was making mean faces.
That's your mean face is like Sammy's. I can't take you serious.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when he's angry. It's just hilarious.
It is, but you can't laugh because then kids feel like you're not paying it, like you don't really care about their feelings.
So you gotta put your shirt over your nose.
Yeah,
and go.
It's very funny though when he's mad. I have
a problem when he's angry because it's just laughter and it's hilarious. And it's funny when he's sad too.
That is funny. My son has this weird cry where he's not really crying, like there's no tears, but he just says "wah" over and over again. It's pretty obnoxious if you're his mom, but apparently to his uncles, it's hilarious.
Khadijah hates it.
It's so like, you're dramatic.
Not supposed to say "wah."
It's so dramatic.
Oh man.
He's
a funny kid.
He is hilarious.
And he's strong now too. I don't like it.
He's getting so big so quickly.
I remember when I used to go in his playpen and he'd snatch my sourdough.
Well,
now he just snatches everything.
He's just going to fight you. So we are getting to the end of our Black History talk. Hooray. Clapping noises.
Like woo.
Woo.
Kind of. Yeah. Like a woo, we're done. But like
Black History is forever.
Like not a woo, like a woo.
Like Wu-Tang. Anyway, okay. So this one's a quicker episode. There's not as much like in-depth things to talk about. It's just going to be sort of a quick like what's been happening since the 70s in Spokane. And not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad was born in the 70s.
True. So was Mom.
He hasn't done anything memorable though.
Whatever.
He's on Shakepedia.
Oh, that's cool.
That was fun.
That is cool.
He's probably on Wikipedia if I look hard enough.
Maybe.
Probably not. No one really knows him.
You can make one. You can make a Wikipedia.
That's no fun.
I know.
You gotta write down all his life story.
I wonder, does Grandma Ida have a Wikipedia?
Probably. She's very famous.
Yeah.
When you Google her, she comes up. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
She had a fro back in the 40s. It was the most majestic thing you've ever seen.
I don't think it was in the 40s. You mean
Did
the 70s?
Did I say 40s? I meant 60s.
Okay. Well, that probably was awesome. I really love seeing old pictures of people like that you know, but you know them as like your grandparents, so they're older. Yeah. I love seeing like them as young people.
It was so fun. She just had an afro, and she was standing between 2 tall white men. They might have been just medium height. She's very short.
She is short. They're just regular. They're both like 5'7". You're like these super tall. That's funny. I would have liked to see Dad's Jerry curl. That would have been fun.
I just imagine like Ice Cube with Dad's face. It's hilarious.
That is hilarious. So the 70s in Spokane were kind of the same old deal. There were not a lot of jobs for people, especially Black people. There were lots of like labor jobs, but there still were not any prominent doctors, dentists, teachers. You know, it was still very hard to come by.
Yeah.
And at the 60s and stuff after the war, there were lots of like programs to try to, you know, like pull America up and create jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
But by the 70s and the Reagan administration, that had kind of died down and people didn't really care about federally providing like anti-poverty programs.
Yeah.
So people were like hopeful in the 70s, like, yeah, things are good, hippies all around. But, you know, like real life stuff were still kind of hard. Yeah.
Bad.
You know, like it was hard to make a living and get ahead kind of thing.
Feed your kids.
Yeah.
Keep a wife.
Yes. There was, you know, still housing discrimination, and it was still the northern kind of quiet discrimination, but people persevered through it all. And then in the 80s, the Black migration to the area had kind of really slowed down. In the 80s, it was like less than 2% again of Black population.
That's fun.
But there were other groups moving into the area, so it was still like diversifying, but it was just less and less Black people.
Yeah.
So there were more Asians, more Latinos, like lots of things were diversifying in the area, and like the schools were more diverse and stuff like that. But the Black population had kind of come to a halt or started to lessen even. There was still definitely struggles in unemployment. At one point in the 80s, there were only 7 African Americans who were part of the fire department or police department.
Like together?
Yeah, like 7 altogether in policing and fire department. That's in a time when it was like, you know, it wasn't still very blatantly racist. It's like the 80s.
Yeah.
But it was still just, you know, you couldn't always get your foot in the door kind of deal. And then at the same time, there were a lot of like political gains being made locally. So like I was saying, there's like for regular people, it was still really hard to get a good job and take care of your family.
Yeah.
But then there were certain prominent figures that were, you know, like making a name for themselves, like Carl Maxey, which we just covered in the mini-sode.
Yeah.
And then there was, we had the first Black mayor in the state of Washington.
Yeah, we did.
Which is cool.
That's us.
Yeah. Like it was like 7 years before Seattle, which, you know, everyone acts like Seattle is the most liberal place.
Progressive. Look at us. We have a larger Black population than anyone else in the state of Washington.
Is that how you feel?
Yes.
That's
it's crazy. Like, I go to Seattle and I'm like, Black person. Wait, what? Black person?
Yeah.
On the streets? It's crazy. You just see them everywhere.
I think Seattle is just has a bigger population of all kinds of diverse groups.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's more of a hub, I guess, than Spokane.
It realistically should be the capital.
Seattle?
Yeah. I feel like the capital should be the most populated place, or the most like well-known place.
I don't know how they decide. Well, obviously they're not deciding those things anymore. Everyone's capital is already chosen. Do they ever switch capitals?
No.
Like, we decided to move our capital.
We should. It should not be Olympia. Don't nobody care about Olympia.
I wonder how did they choose those things at the beginning? We'll have to look into it.
It was probably the most populated, and then everybody moved over to Seattle.
I don't think so. I don't think Olympia would ever have been the most populated area. I mean, you're right. It might have been.
Did you see those people sledding down Capitol Hill?
Yes, that looked so fun.
It was hilarious.
I saw somebody on skis. That would be fun too. Like real skis and sticks and everything. That'd be fun.
We don't get that much snow. We did in September.
We do, but we don't have. I mean, we do have hills too, but we're used to the snow, so nobody gets all excited like that.
We just go, oh,
oh, great! You change your way you get to work, but that's about it.
Yeah,
that's funny. I remember being a kid and it snowing a lot. My grandparents lived on Freya, which is like that huge hill, and I always wanted to sled down it, but you know, I'm not trying to die either.
No one likes that.
Yeah.
A problem that I have with like sledding and stuff is that, especially like out where in the middle of nowhere, it's deep snow. So you have to make a path first. And then the hill's too steep to walk back up.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You got to go up and down, and it's treacherous, and it's not fun.
Yeah,
it's fun,
sledding is fun. And like when you grow up in the snow, every year you're like, oh, let's go sled. And then you go out there, you go down 2 times, and you're like, all right, that was good. Thanks.
Me and Hakeem sled down the hill once. And, you know, Hakeem's nice to me. So, you know, when we got close to objects, he would stop pushing.
That's
that's
great.
This isn't old neither. This year. Not this year, last year. We got close to an object. I kept pushing.
You pushed him into something?
I pushed him into stuff. I pushed him into the second house.
Wow.
We have good times. I give him pain.
Little brothers are the worst.
And then I complain about when he gives me pain. It's you know, we have a good time.
Great.
What were you talking about?
We're talking about Mayor Jim Chase.
We know a guy named Chase. He's our like cousin or something.
Distant, but yes.
Yeah.
But this is the guy's last name, Jim Chase.
Yeah.
He was the first black mayor in Spokane. He was elected in 1981.
Oh.
And before he was mayor, he was also on the city council, being the second black person ever to be on the city council.
He's accomplished.
Yeah. And he was very like charismatic. Like people really liked him. And he wasn't like, he was one of those people that just wants to listen to everybody. So like people felt comfortable with him and they felt like talking to him. Yeah. And that's kind of what got him elected, was that he made people feel comfortable and like he really cared and listened and,
understanding.
Yeah, he was very understanding. Exactly. But he wasn't without like criticism. So some of the black residents felt like he wasn't doing enough for black people. And I think that's a problem. Like if you're the first black person anywhere, somebody's going to have a problem with how you're doing it, you know? And probably always feel like you should do more. Yeah. But that's a hard battle to win, you know?
It is. Kind of.
Because he was also trying to balance the, that it's such a small population. He can't just count on Black Spokane to support him, you know? So one of the major issues that people had with him, well, there were 2, was that before he was elected mayor, the city had wanted to, I think it was part of affirmative action, actually. The city wanted to hire more people of color in different positions. Yeah. And that just wasn't happening fast enough. So, like all politics, they blamed the person that they see, you know what I mean? So it was like, it's his fault, but really it wasn't. It was more of a citywide issue. But, that's just how people choose the, what's it called? Like the figurehead. And they're mad at him. You have very old phrases. Well, and sentences. I am old. Choose the what? The figurehead. Yeah, I've never heard that in my life. Okay, well, it's like like the head of a company, where it's like, obviously Jeff Bezos doesn't do every single thing at Amazon. Yeah. But if you have a problem with Amazon, who are you yelling at? Jeff Bezos. Exactly. He's the figurehead. Yeah. Okay, great. Just get some more youthful stuff. Like, what would you call it? Just say mascot or something. He's not a mascot. Mascot is like a stuffed animal. Yeah, I mean, or like like the Cougars or the Bulldogs. Yeah, that's not a person. Yeah. Speaking of, this isn't relevant to anything. You keep saying Gonzaga's gonna win this year. Whoop whoop! And it's our year. I don't believe it. I believe it. And let me tell you, I have this Gonzaga shirt on today to prove it. Well, I have a Cougar shirt on. So, boo! I went to that school, but boo. So let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, my brother. You're wrong, because we've had everybody every year says, "Oh, Gonzaga's gonna win." I'm gonna tell you why this is the year. Because all the other big schools are not in this year, and this is our one chance. We don't have to beat Kentucky. We don't have to beat Carolina. We don't have to beat Duke. Yeah, but we got to beat anyone else in the way. I believe it. I think it'll happen. It's gonna be the 2016 Warriors. We're gonna have a great record. Then when we get to the freaking playoffs in the finals, we're gonna be boo-boo garbage, and we're gonna lose, and we're gonna be depressed, like always. Every year, it's the same old, same old. So you're just trying to avoid the depression about it? Yes. It's so sad.
We never win.
Well,
Nobody wins. Washington State never wins. Gonzaga doesn't win.
I think the Washington State girls were doing really good this year.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either exactly, but I think so. I
Eastern,
think better than usual.
Eastern's doing okay in football.
Mm-hmm. They've done really good.
Yeah. I don't really watch football. I'm not a big football fan.
I'm not either anymore.
Once I figured out they were racist, I was like,
That they're racist and CTE is real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I just took the fun out of the sport.
It does.
Then I found basketball again.
Basketball is cool.
It's just a superior sport. You get to bounce the ball, then you get to throw the ball in the hoop.
It is fun. Are you gonna do Hoop Fest? If there's a Hoop Fest this year,
If I can,
that'd be cool.
that would.
Fingers
be cool.
crossed that they have Hoop Fest this year.
I don't know who I'd rock up with,
I'll play with you.
so I'm not doing hoop fest this year.
You guys, I don't think it'll work out this time. That's hilarious. I actually played basketball though.
Yeah, you beat me in horse,
Exactly.
but that's horse.
Well, you're right. And I'm kind of old and a little out of shape.
Kinda, and kinda, a
You
little.
can play with Hakeem.
That's just no fun.
And then you have to go up an age bracket too.
Yeah, and it's just you have the 6'3" giant. You know what I mean? That's no fun. It's just an easy dub.
But you'll have to play against people his age, so it might
That's
not
also
be
a
easy.
problem. But when you got clamps, like anyway, what were we talking about?
We're talking about Black Spokane. We're in the 80s now.
Yeah,
I don't know much about the 80s. I wasn't there yet.
Dad was,
That's true.
and Mom was.
And Mom was also. They were pretty young though still.
Yeah.
Teenagers.
When he was elected, they were what, 11?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Mom said she had met him once.
Mom says she met everyone. Did you know she met John Stockton?
Yes. I did know that.
He's the mascot of our city. John Stockton.
The mascot of the city. Well, he's in that one song now too. Anyway, okay, back to James Chase.
No, back to Mom and Dad.
No.
Mom says she knows everybody though.
Well, maybe she just means she knows of them. But I specifically talked to her about this, so I know that she met him.
She says she's met everyone.
Anyway, the other problem, besides the not hiring enough people of color, the other problem they had was there was an incident with this man named Richard Butler, who was the leader of the Aryan Nation in Idaho. Do you know what the Aryan Nation is?
Nope.
It's basically kind of like the KKK. It's a hate group, a white hate group. And they were terrorizing this area basically, but not so much blatantly like in the South, like we talked about before, but more like they would send hate mail and threatening letters, and they were very anti-Black and anti-Semitic.
Yeah, the normal stuff.
Yes, and so they kind of had a compound in Idaho, and people just left them alone most of the time.
Yeah.
But then after James Chase was elected, like the figurehead issue, there's a Black man now leading in Spokane.
Yeah.
They decided to do a march in Riverfront Park at the clock tower.
Yeah.
And a lot of citizens in Spokane wanted the mayor to basically not let them, to deny them the permitting to be able to go to the park. And he said, no, we can't do that because everyone has the freedom of speech and freedom to gather. And if we stop them from doing it, then we're basically doing what they've done to us, where there used to be rules about Black people gathering.
Yeah.
And so that caused a lot of, like a divide kind of, where a lot of Black people were like, but you can't even stand up to the KKK. How are you supposed to be a good leader?
I mean,
but he was right. I feel like, you can't just silence people that you disagree with.
Yeah.
But
you can only block them on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't go on Facebook. You want to know why? Because I'm not 90. I don't use a lot of youthful apps actually. I just downloaded TikTok this year. That's been fun.
I have avoided TikTok because I see them and they're hilarious. So I know that I would spend 3 hours laughing at things on TikTok. So I have restrained myself from downloading it.
That's fun.
Because I have very little self-control.
I don't have self-control neither.
And I would just be laughing for 4 hours.
I don't even have Snapchat.
Or crying. I also will watch videos that are like, oh my God, that was so touching.
You and mom in tears.
It's really an issue.
Mom loves to watch sad shows. You watch sad things in general. Y'all gotta chill out.
It'd be either that 3 hours of touching things and like, oh, somebody rescued this puppy. Or 3 hours of just hilariousness.
The things about
and nonsense.
About like touching things like, oh, the puppy. What about the puppy's brother? You know what I mean?
Really?
There's always a behind the scenes.
There's always something happening.
They probably punted the other dog so they could have that one dog in shot because they can't carry 2 dogs. I
saw a video today that a dog like fell out of the window. It's like being all cute, like putting its head out the window and then it like flew out the window. And the girl is like, don't worry, the dog's okay.
That's hilarious.
I feel like your dog would do that.
He's not smart.
He would just jump out the window.
He's a German Shepherd, but he's not a very smart dog. They're supposed to be smart dogs, but he's not very smart. Oh, he did something adorable today, though.
What?
I was feeding him, like always. And, I was taking my time because, he doesn't deserve food more than I do.
What?
I hadn't eaten and I was angry.
Okay.
So, I was pouring the water. And then he took his food dish and he like slapped it with his paw.
Like, give me this.
It was adorable.
That is cute.
It's kind of inconvenient that he doesn't know
He's very
English.
cute, but he's so hyper.
Yeah.
Every time I try to love on him, he's just like, it makes him too excited. And then he wants to run around like a crazy person.
He stopped peeing when excited, so that's good.
That's a bonus. He is definitely getting less excitable. Like, he was an insane puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
he's getting
off the rails.
He's chilled out a little bit.
It was crazy.
I've heard, that's pretty typical of German Shepherds, though. They're high energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a high motor.
Yeah, they just want to go and go and go and go.
Like children.
Oh, God.
He really reminds me of Sam.
Some days.
Disobedient and hyper.
And very hyper. And, loud. Yes. So, okay, moving on from the 80s. I should have looked it up, but I didn't. I don't know how long Jim Chase was the mayor, but these problems happened like in the first 2 years of him being mayor. So I don't think he probably had a long run. I'd be tired after that.
How long are, like, what would you say? Words, like mayor gets elected. How long is he in office?
Oh, I think it probably depends on where you're at, but I think it's probably 4 years.
That makes
maybe
sense.
2. I should know that.
You should. You're 90.
It's been a long time since I took a civics class.
A civics class? What is a civics class?
I think, hold on. I'm looking it up. So, I'm trying to look it up, and the first Google search is, what do mayors do? Like, what do they even do? That's funny. Oh, yeah, it does depend on your government. So it depends on where you're at a little bit.
That makes sense.
Most of them are 2 or 4 year terms.
I'm gonna become the senator, the governor, whatever. One of those things.
Of Washington?
Yeah. And then I'm gonna change it to like 2 years, 4 months, 2 days, 1 hour.
Wow, that's very specific.
Mm-hmm. I'm specific like that.
You think you think 4 years is too long?
Probably.
You think we should switch people out more?
Yes.
That's an interesting idea. I wonder, and like you get fresher ideas.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it is a problem because you don't have enough time to enact them.
Yeah. Well, I think it should be 4 years because we've had this mayor for 4 years and she's sucky. She's bad at her job.
How do you really feel?
She's a bad person.
Wow.
And she needs to fix the goddamn potholes.
Well,
broke my arm and I'm going up to the goddamn hospital.
Infrastructure is a problem nationwide.
Now I'm bouncing up and down with a broken arm. Unacceptable.
Well, she can't fix everything.
She should, though.
I want you to become mayor just so I can heckle you about what you haven't done.
What would my mayoral campaign phrase be?
What would your run be?
Shut down donut parade.
No.
Trash. They're like the Twinkies of this city.
First of
Everybody
all,
was like, "Oh, donut parade. They're gone. We gotta get them back." They came back trash.
They're not trash. They're just not as good as before.
Trash.
Stop it. Anyway,
They don't taste good. And if you disagree with me, fight me.
nobody wants to fight you, Hamza. Hush.
Find me.
Hush.
This is my address.
I would really fight you. You weren't there, but in the 90s, growing up here, let's see, what did I think? You know, like when you're a kid, you're not really aware of anything political or even like socio, maybe kind of economic, where you're like, oh yeah, I'm poorer than these other kids. But
Yeah.
it's not, you don't care about the mayor and the, you know, what's happening in your town and all of that kind of stuff. But I grew up very close to my Black grandparents. And so I still had pretty good access to the Black community in Spokane.
Yeah.
Like there were a lot of church activities and outings and the East Central Community Center. And those were like the things that kept me connected to Black Spokane. In the 90s especially. So I think it turned into more of a like smaller groups, neighborhoods, you know, back to the smaller organizations like it was at the beginning of Black Spokane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So like there weren't so many political figures or, you know, anybody super prominent, but it was small community centers like Martin Luther King Jr. Center. And, you know, so there are some really, I'll probably highlight some of those people that I know personally who have done really good things.
Yeah.
But, you know, so I won't list them all out here, but.
Yeah. Name drop somebody right now. Do it.
What, Miss Frida Gandhi. She runs the Martin Luther King Jr. Center.
Gandhi. You know Gandhi?
Gandhi with an A.
You know Gandhi?
Oh my God, I quit. So you're twit. But anyway, so yeah, the 90s, the 2000s, you know, like now people more like care more about the racial and political things like nationally.
Yeah.
You know, it's less, I mean, people care locally, but the talks seem to be bigger nowadays.
It's definitely less about the city and more about the country as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's interesting. That was also like an interesting part in the 80s and 90s. Spokane didn't really push forward any Black leaders. And so a lot of people were well educated, but they just left the area.
Yeah.
So, you know, now it's sort of like with political climates and, you know, it's still kind of small organizations, I think, like the Maxey Center and the Martin Luther King Jr. Center is still around. They've taken over what used to be the East Central Community Center. Yeah. So I think it's still like that, you know, people on the ground kind of activism and, you know.
The problem that I have with this city, this is not relevant to our topic, but
Then why?
Let me speak. Okay.
If it's not relevant, why?
The problem that I have with this city is it's boring. There's nothing to do. You go get donuts at the donut parade, then you drive down to Riverfront and you go down the big red slide. What next? Nothing. You go home.
They have updated the park a lot in recent years.
No.
The pavilion
attraction.
Well, it is a little touristy, but Spokane has always been a little bit boring. That's why when I was in high school, I was like, wanted nothing more than to leave. But
it's just nothing.
When you leave and you come back and then you're like, you know, this place isn't as horrible as you think. You can also be bored in other places. You just think that, you know, like you just have this idea that other cities have more going on. And sometimes it's really like how much you're involved in.
Yeah. It's just it's nothing to do. You go, okay, you can go to the park. And then what?
There's lots of parks. We have great outdoors stuff.
There's lots of parks.
It's not an ad for Spokane.
You can go get some like okay food from a national wide chain.
There are a lot of big restaurants, like national restaurants. But I do think people like, that's what I'm saying. It's all about where you're looking because there are a lot of really great indie restaurants too. You just have to find them and then support them so that they don't close. And that's where Spokane like kind of has a hang up. They don't actually follow through on the like, oh, it'd be great to have a soul food restaurant, but how many times do you go buy food from Fresh Soul to keep it open?
Maybe we should go there.
We should. It sounds good.
You told me about the place, then I forgot about it. Oh, I'm a part of the problem.
Exactly. That's what I'm telling you.
That's no fun.
And even having things to do, you have to like get involved with some things, and then you have things to do, like run a podcast.
Yeah, but that's no fun.
Or start a business. Or join a community center to start some programs.
For a long while in my life, I thought the YMCA was a hotel.
That's hilarious because the song makes it's like a place for, that's hilarious.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's
I think
a lot more fun than a hotel.
It used to be a lot more like that than it is nowadays.
Now it's you
now
play
it's more
basketball.
like a gym and activities center.
Do they have bingo?
I have no idea. I don't go to the YMCA.
I'm pretty sure the Y has bingo, which is just enjoyable I want to play bingo. I want to say, suck it. I don't know.
Mildred.
Suck it, Mildred. I got bingo before you. Pay up my money. I'll run Mildred's pockets. That makes it sound like I'm going to steal from Mildred. I'm not going to steal from Mildred.
When I was young, my grandma worked at the East Central Community Center in the senior center area. Mm-hmm. And we did stuff like that, like play bingo and did arts and crafts. And
shuffleboard.
I went to like work with her, and I loved all that stuff.
Bingo seems like fun, though.
Bingo is fun.
Everybody makes bingo seem like boring, garbage.
Like old people stuff.
It's not. Bingo, you got to have the right people. You got to get hyped for bingo.
You and Mildred.
I'll hype Mildred up. I might knock her down and break her hip, but You're
like, let's go. Your shoulder bumper. No.
Poor Mildred.
I hope.
Do people like still have old people names? Are people still naming their kids Mildred?
Me and Sam talk about this all the time about what, like you'll just hear a name and it'll be like, oh, that's an old name. Like people don't name their kid that anymore. Like Eugene. Do you know a kid named Eugene?
Eugene, exactly.
No.
What would you call it? Gene or something?
Yeah, Gene.
Eugene.
No, not Eugene.
Eugene.
But there are some people who are like bringing back old names. Like the name like Fiona and stuff have come back in recent years.
No.
But so Mildred might make a comeback.
The problem with like a name like Fiona, everybody's just going to call her Shrek.
Well,
how's your husband? I'm not married to Shrek. That would be fun. Bullying. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't bully people.
Unless they're your family, then it's fine because they're family.
And they have to love you.
They have no feelings.
As you can see how our family shows love.
It's not great. I don't think aggressive. There is love. It's pretty much just insulting and name calling.
You and Sophia do it the most.
Yeah.
The two youngest. You guys like trash talk.
Yeah. We have roasting battles. Oh, God. We have roasting battles occasionally. Pretty often, actually.
Occasionally. It's like daily.
It happens pretty often.
Wow.
I got a lot of stuff to say. I got to get off my chest. I don't know what you want from me.
I do think it's funny that you guys know your limits, so nobody like gets too out of hand.
No out of handism.
Yeah. It's not too aggressive or anything.
No.
It's just hilarious for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Do you like being the youngest?
No, it's hell.
I believe you.
It's not fun.
I can't imagine. You have like 8 people who think they're the boss of you.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you get spoiled. Whoop-de-doop-de. I get made fun of for being spoiled. There's no plus to this life.
Even
then, I don't get spoiled anymore. I'm not getting 18 birthday presents for my 9th birthday. That was a great time.
That's a great time in your life.
Just get a bunch of presents.
You were still cute when you were 9. Now you're a teenager. And you're obnoxious. Don't get You're a mess, Hamza.
I don't deserve to be treated like this.
I'm just saying, kids are cute. Teenagers are ridiculous.
Is why I tried to replace you.
Nobody else is
you better
gonna
watch your tone before I recast you.
You're going to recast there's nobody else who's the oldest. You'll have to get Aisha to come.
Ooh.
You want to podcast with Aisha?
Sounds like a lot of...
She'll actually make you do work.
Stuff.
Exactly.
I'm just going to do it with...
Aisha is the responsible sister. Even more than me, who is the oldest. She keeps you guys in check.
That's just because she's the richest.
That has nothing to do with her keeping you in check and making sure you do your schoolwork.
The richer the R. The richer the R?
English.
The richer you are, the more you keep everybody else in line. Because you got all that confidence. Because you got all that money in your back pocket.
Maybe. Or she can bribe you to do stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'll buy you something nice if you get straight A's or whatever.
Yeah. That's not
even motivation for you. That works for Sophia for sure.
Oh, Sophia loves stuff.
But not for you.
Not for me. No. Too much effort.
Yeah.
Moving on from school, because that's just going to get sad.
I don't want to depress you. This is your escape from school. One thing I did, we're kind of done with our Black history in Spokane talk, because we've reached the 90s, the 2000s.
Nothing really happens.
I mean,
maybe there'll be a big outbreak in
I hope not. I don't want anything crazy to happen.
Everybody's
just you mean like a big boom of Black population?
I don't know why I would say outbreak.
I know.
But like a big boom.
I thought you meant like a fight was going to happen.
Oh, that'd be fun.
No.
That'd be fun.
But that would be cool if we had a big boom.
Citywide fight.
I wonder if that kind of stuff, like, you know, when we started our history talk, it was like there are certain things that happen in history that caused people to move or migrate. Whereas like, okay, now we're moving west. A bunch of people came west. And then, you know, now there's more jobs after the war. So more people came. I wonder if there is something, you know, like that would happen. I don't know what it would be, though.
Probably not.
There will be Amazon warehouses everywhere.
You and Mom get so angry when you see the Amazon warehouses.
Oh, I literally don't care about the warehouses. I'm just saying, I wonder if there is some kind
Mom
of
gets angry.
boom in industry that would bring a bunch of people. You know, like the gold rush. Like that stuff doesn't happen anymore, where it's like suddenly there's an influx of 50,000 people to an area.
Nothing happens. Everything's boring.
Everything's already colonized.
Yeah.
Boo.
Except Antarctica and Mars.
I saw a thing today that was like Mars is the only planet that's entirely inhabited by robots.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. I have a quick question for you.
What's up?
You're in the shower. Which way are you facing?
I turn around about 8 times in the shower. Sometimes I like the front of me to get really warm, and then my back gets cold, and so then I turn around.
Yeah, I guess.
It's all about warmth. I like to be warm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's why your car is steaming hot constantly.
All the time, yes.
Sweating
I'm cold in here right now. Like, I'd prefer to have a heater on
this
right now.
This is room temp.
I know, but I prefer warmer than room temp.
It's like 72 degrees in here, which is too hot. The thermostat should say 70 and stay there.
No. My thermostat would always be set at 78 if I controlled my own environment.
That's a big difference between, I hate being hot so much. I hate it to an extreme. I get angry.
Okay, now I'm going to take your question back to you. Do you only stand one way in the shower?
Yeah. Facing the shower.
And then
whole time. The thing is, my back can't get cold because I don't take that hot a shower.
Oh. Yeah, I do I like steamy showers.
No, it's like a semi-cold, like if you got in and you be like, oh my God.
Why?
He's a penguin.
Who takes cold showers?
Oh, something I love to do. It's treacherous and I hate doing it to myself. I just turn the knob all the way. Turn it all the way to cold.
You have some real issues.
See how long I can last. It's not very long, but...
No, thank you.
It's fun though.
I think this is the difference between me remembering when we were really poor and you not remembering because you weren't there. You weren't even born yet. But I remember one time we had to take cold showers because something had happened. Our hot water was turned off or whatever.
Yeah.
Or electricity, something. It was the worst. I would try my heart you just don't understand.
That's hilarious.
So I take the steamiest hot showers that I can possibly take.
Yeah. That's not fun.
I cannot. Ugh. Even in the summertime, I don't take cool showers.
Okay, that's a bit of a stretch. You got to cool it. Haha. Yeah, no, that's a steamy shower when it's steamy outside.
I do still, yeah.
Sorry for getting so emotional.
It's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
What is wrong with you?
One thing I wanted to mention, though, because we haven't mentioned this yet, is we got our first review.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, I was so excited to see that.
Hi, buddy.
Hi. I don't know how you say their name, but it's HAHAGTJAKS.
Ha.
Yeah, I don't know. But they said these sibs are so fun to listen to. Reminds me of my big family. And so I wanted to shout them out because that's so sweet. And there's some things about having a big family that, like, if you're not from one, you kind of don't get it. So I love that they get it. That's fun.
Love you.
Thanks for listening.
Send me money.
Whatever. What is your least favorite thing about being in a big family?
Food.
Oh, there's no
food. Let me tell you something, my brother. There will be 7 boxes of hard-shelled tacos, but no milk.
there's never a balance.
You got random useless things like lentils. I'm not eating lentils.
And it takes so long to cook lentils that it's not a quick food.
It's unreasonable. There's no food. And if there is like good food like cranberry juice, that's gone in the night.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, this is a real problem. You can buy something one day and be like, you know what, this is going to last me like a week. Mm-hmm. And then you wake up the next day and it is already gone.
That's why I'm going to start buying stuff for myself. I'm going to start buying my own orange juice. Off limits, that is. That's mine.
We don't have enough refrigeration room for everyone to buy their own.
Exactly. That's why you got to get in early.
That is funny. Being part of a big family is interesting.
There's no food, and the shoe rack is out of control constantly.
So many shoes.
Sophia has 28 pairs of shoes.
It's also not fair that you got so many sisters, but you know, what can you do about it?
I get very emotional.
Sister Devin, she also has a huge family, like bunch of kids, and they're at the stage that we were at in the early 2000s where you have to go to the hospital or urgent care like once a week. And that's another part of a big family is like when you have all those kids,
constant injury.
People are always going to be hurt or hurting each other.
Yeah.
Or falling down.
A lot of falling. I don't know why kids fall so much.
Eating things they're not supposed to.
Like batteries.
Or plastic French fries.
Let me tell you something. I was very surprised about this. Apparently, Khadija, Sophia, and I have all eaten the same inanimate objects. We've had party streamers. We all know what they taste like. Battery acid. We all know what it tastes like. Probably
how have
iPhone
you guys
cords.
lived this long?
Because we're building up our immune system. I've probably eaten way too much dirt in my life.
Besides dirt, you remember that one time Sophia made you eat a bug?
Oh, yeah. That was a good time.
See,
Sophia said we were outside. We went under the porch. Sophia grabbed a beetle. It was no little beetle. 2 leaves off the tree. Put the beetle in between the leaves. And I munched on it. I finished it.
I'm really amazed that you're still alive.
The worst part was the goddamn leaves.
Too chewy?
Yeah. Too chewy, too leafy.
It tasted like salad.
Mom did make me eat salad once. It was when I had a broken arm. We went to Olive Garden. I was eating thousands of Brexit. I was eating thousands of Brexits.
Breadsticks. And you really can't talk today.
And then she said, if you want another breadstick,
you have to eat some salad.
Eat this tiny bit of salad. And I stood there for 2 minutes with my depressed broken arm, contemplating if I even wanted any more breadsticks. Then I ate the salad. And it tasted really bad. It's one of those salads with like orange. I assume it's carrot. Now that I think about it. Wow, it's probably carrots.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's usually a feature in just regular restaurant salad.
I was just, my entire life until now, I was like, oh, it's just orange stuff. Orange salad. Oh, man. Orange leaf of some sort.
She apparently should have made you eat more salad.
You can't talk neither.
I know. When I was young, this is how old I am. McDonald's sold salad in a cup. And you could shake it up with the dressing. They don't make that anymore.
What is that North California garbage?
I thought they were delicious.
Well, of course you do. I have to sneeze.
Well, sneeze, but cover your, sleeves into your sleeve. Don't spread germs.
I'm not sneezing. Oh, I hate it when you gotta sneeze and you can't sneeze.
Oh, it's just stuck.
Yeah.
I heard if you say
I'll
it,
probably sneeze later.
say it. Oh, maybe that's for
It's like-
hiccups. I don't know. Say pineapple.
I think it's pineapple or something. If you look at the light, it makes you sneeze, and it doesn't matter. Anyway, this has been
All those
from,
things are fake.
What is
we
this show
should
called?
From oldest to
Yeah,
youngest.
there's a big screen next to us. I don't know why I never remember the name.
Hold on, but we should do an episode that's all myths, like a MythBusters episode.
Speaking of myths, I just told Sophia today. You can't see, but I'm sitting all adorably. I told her that coffee doesn't stunt your growth.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
That's a myth.
Yeah. For my whole life, I was like, I can't drink no coffee.
I'm gonna be short.
Even when
that was what you were worried about.
Even when you bought me that coffee, we were talking about it off
Before we started.
off air. But even then, I was like, oh man, this is gonna stunt my growth. One cup of coffee. But no, it's just not good for teenagers to have it. It doesn't stunt your growth.
So why is it not good? Just they get like addicted to it?
I don't know.
No.
It's just not good. Coffee in general
It's
is
just
not good for
you.
your body.
Well, that's fair.
It's it's like
It's a drug.
chilies and stuff. It's like they built up this defense for you to not eat them and consume them in any way, and then we did.
Then we do for fun. It's like we like to challenge. We like to challenge our bodies. Like, what can you stand?
I love spicy food.
Can you eat a beetle? Or can you eat some coca
I'm
leaves?
surprised I haven't eaten more bugs. I haven't had a worm.
Gross. I don't
That's
want to eat
surprising.
worms.
Oh, I think
Ew.
I might have. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I remember some. I remember worms being juicy.
Ew.
It was. I either stepped on it or I
You know
ate
the
it.
other problem with having so many kids, you can't watch all of them
Can't
at
keep
all
track of
the time. So I'm sure that you probably ate a worm.
I'm surprised no one ate like any house plants that we've had. I could imagine young Hakeem just chewing on a house plant. I could imagine that.
It wasn't Hakeem really. Layla was the one that ate the French fry. She ate like a plastic French fry. Apparently you like bugs.
I don't like
That's what we're learning today.
Okay, that's a bit of a stretch. Like is very strong.
But you're willing to try all kinds of them.
If someone offered me some salt and vinegar bugs, I'd eat them.
I believe you.
It's a delicacy.
A lot of places in the world, they do eat bugs. Like they are
Yeah.
still protein.
Like North Dakota.
No.
That was just a guess. They'll eat anything. I'm sure of it. There's no food there. It's North Dakota. It's a wasteland. But with snow.
That's where Dad went to college.
Oh, he did go to North Dakota. Wow. He's been all over the place.
He has. Life does that to you sometimes. I'm excited to see, like you're still young. It'll be hilarious to look back and
Oh, yeah.
listen
oh, my
to this
God. What is
podcast.
in my throat, man? Jesus.
because you chugged your water, so now you have nothing to sip on.
My mouth is very dry, actually.
But yeah, I'm excited about some coming episodes. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna start talking about some Black culture and music, and do some, some quick rundowns. But then we're gonna have a really fun episode that's like hip hop,
Hippity hop.
hippity.
Don't stop.
Yeah.
To the beat, y'all. You don't stop. I like my reefer with crack rock. Anyway,
No.
that's been from the oldest to youngest. You can find us on Instagram.
Yeah, follow us at FoddyPod.
We're on Twitter, too.
Pod.
I'm working on the tiki-taki thing.
Oh, yeah. We are. Hamza made the Twitter. Hamza's in charge of.
That's me, yo.
Woo, woo.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
Don't like those.
Have you tweeted anything yet?
Yeah.
I should follow the Twitter.
You probably should.
I don't have a Twitter.
What? You probably should.
It's the same thing as TikTok for me. I would just
so.
waste my time.
Yeah.
So I have to limit myself.
I tried Twitter. I had fun the first couple times. Now I go on it and I want to die. So I deleted it yesterday.
How can you be in charge of our Twitter and then you deleted Twitter?
Oh.
I'm replacing you. How you were going to replace me at the beginning of the episode.
Okay.
You have to re-download it. You're a mess today.
That's hilarious.
That is funny. But anyway, follow us. We're doing fun things. We had to do some prep for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm going to make Hansi do more research.
Nah. Okay, bye.
Bye.